We are live. Hi, welcome everyone. It's so good to have you here. My name is Dami. I'm the co-founder of Go to Cyber, and I'll be your host for today. And I'm of course joined by my amazing co-host and co-founder, Esther. I'm super excited you're here, and thank you for taking the time out to be a part of this session on a Saturday. We know how busy Saturdays can be. We know you have plans, but you're making it with us, and we want to say thank you for that. Esther, you want to say hi real quick?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Esther Ogechi, and like she said, I would be your co-host for today. And also, I am the co-founder of Go to Cyber, and we are very excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And like Dami said, we know how busy Saturdays can be, but you decided to bring out this time to be here with us, and we really appreciate that. And to our amazing speakers rather, we are grateful to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you, Esther, for that wonderful intro. So, let's dive in, right? But before we dive in, let's talk about why we're even doing this. So, you see, cybersecurity sometimes can feel like this huge, mysterious thing. Like, do I need to be a hacker? Do I need like 10 certifications before I can apply to be a cybersecurity professional? Or am I even smart enough for this? Trust me, I've been there. And that's why Go to Cyber exists, right? That's why Esther and I have decided to co-found Go to Cyber because we were tired of how confusing and get kept cybersecurity can feel, especially when you're just starting out. We wanted to create a space where people can learn, can grow, and ask real questions, and of course, to get the support they need without fear. So if that sounds like something that you're really into, make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And of course, follow us on LinkedIn. We'll be dropping the link to our LinkedIn page shortly. And of course, join the Go to Cyber team. We're always scouting for talent. We've got lots of amazing content, events, and mentorship sessions coming up. And trust me, it's something you don't want to miss, right? So we're looking for volunteers. If it's something that sounds interesting to you, you can shoot us an email. You can reach out to either Esther and I, and we'd love to have you join our team. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Right. So, here's what today is really about. We're bringing in real professionals who have lived and breathed the stuff. They're not here to sugarcoat or lie to you or make things sound nice. No, that's not the reason why we're here. We've got amazing lineup for you from GRC to offensive security to South security, and we're going to hear the kind of insights you don't really get from job descriptions or bootcamp flyers. So you're going to learn about the tools that they use, the challenges they face, and what they wish people knew more about the role. So without wasting much time, we'd like to bring up our first speaker. And of course, we have to do a little intro. I mean, what's a webinar without an intro of the speaker we are bringing on? So our first speaker is Kendi, and Kendi is someone I know on the personal level. He's someone who has over the years showed astute and knowledge in what he does. So when I thought about the person who was best suited for this role, he was the first person that came to my mind to talk about this particular career path. And he works as an offensive security associate at Cybervergent. He specializes in web, network, API, and application testing. Wow, that's quite a mouthful, really. That's quite a mouthful. It helps organizations strengthen their defenses by identifying and addressing vulnerabilities. It holds several industry recognized certifications, including Certified Application Security Practitioner, the certified network security practitioner, certified cloud security practitioner, AWS certified, oh my God, and certified red team analyst. Wow, that's a lot. So, we're not joking when we bring, professionals here to actually talk you through this. So, we're really excited this year to share from his knowledge with you guys. So, alongside his technical capabilities, he cares deeply about developing and inspiring the future generation of cyber practitioners. He volunteers his time, knowledge, and experience to help ensure others have successful cybersecurity career. And I think that is demonstrated by his willingness to be a part of this webinar. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring Katie on stage real quick. Kehinde, welcome. Welcome to Go to Cyber. How do you feel to be here today?
Good morning, Damin. Good morning, Ogechi. Thank you so much for having me on set today. It's really nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's amazing to have you here. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this webinar. We look forward to the amazing insights you're going to share with our audience.
Yeah, I look forward
All
to that
right.
for myself.
Awesome. So the next person we're going to be bringing up is Chinenye Obodo. I hope I got that correctly because I'm a Yoruba girl, so I have H factors. Please don't mind. So, Chinenye was someone I saw on LinkedIn, and I've been following her post for quite some time now. She's someone who is really deeply passionate about cloud security. And so, when I thought about who I was going to bring on to talk about cloud security role, she was the only person that could come to mind. And I'm really excited that she has agreed to be a part of this. And we look forward to what she has to, share with you guys. Now, a quick intro about her. She is a cybersecurity specialist and she's fluent in both English and French. Jo m'appelle Damilola. That's the only French I know. But it's awesome to be bilingual. That's amazing. And she has experience in cloud security and DevOps. Wow. As a cloud security or DevOps engineer, she is deeply passionate about making the cloud a secure and efficient place to build and run applications through automation, collaboration, and a deep understanding of both security and DevOps principles. That's quite a lot, and that's amazing, really. She has worked on various cybersecurity projects like malware analysis and detection, serverless security automation, and governance, automated security, hardening, and compliance as code. Chineye is a proud cyber girl. Well, just a quick side note, Esther is also a cyber girl. So cyber girls are always doing amazing work. Like I can't even deny it. They're doing really amazing. So shout out to cyber girls. And she's also a passionate advocate for continuous learning. She's deeply dedicated to advocating for a safer, more inclusive cyberspace and one that is very accessible to everyone. Beyond this, she's also passionate about mentoring and supporting cybersecurity talent, driven by a desire to foster a strong community of professionals. Wow, that is quite an awesome profile. And it's quite amazing to have someone with this wealth of knowledge and experience come here to talk to us. Without wasting much time, let's bring Chineye on stage so she can say hi to us. Hi, Chineye. How are you doing today?
Oh, I think
Chineye,
you're
you're
Hello.
muted.
muted.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Awesome. We can hear you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking time to be a part of this webinar. We really appreciate, you coming here to contribute from your knowledge of experience with our audience.
It's a pleasure
All
to be
right.
here.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. Now, originally, we had someone else who was also going to take us deeper into the cloud security space. But unfortunately, she couldn't make it today, which makes us really sad. Um, Due to some last minute changes. But don't worry, we'll definitely bring it back in a future session because we know how important that area is. But to the fun twist, we have a very fun twist. Our very own co-host, the co-founder of Go to Cyber, she's not just hosting today, she's also going to be speaking. And if you've been following Go to Cyber for quite some time now, you know that Esther is a specialist when it comes to GRC. She is the madame of GRC, so to say. And she's going to walk us through what a day looks like, what GRC actually involves, and why it matters more than people realize. So she's going to be wearing many hats today, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited to share the spot with you. And we have amazing people, and we can't wait for them to begin to share the experience with you. All right, so let's take everyone behind the scenes a bit. So this is a general question I'm going to put to everyone, and I think it's the foundation of why we're here, right? So if we shadowed you for a day, let's say we literally sat beside you, like we have our coffee in hand, what would we see you doing from morning to evening? Would you love to walk us through a day in your cyber life? So I'd like to throw that question first to Candy.
Okay, thank you very much once again, Dan. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be here with beautiful and family and beautiful faces to Ugichi and Chinaya. So, so the life of a cyber offense engineer, yeah, it's it's spontaneous. Like it's really spontaneous. Anything can come out of anywhere. You're waking up in the morning, you're praying, get prepared to go to the office, you're joining your stand-up meeting, explaining why a project is being delayed, what's going on, and it sometimes can be really frustrating because um, you know how unreliant technology can be. You have a project you're working on at the moment and you're meant to deliver report on Monday. But because of how tricky and annoying technology can be, I mean, you already have all these plans in your head. Okay, once I get to the office, I so the first thing I do when I get to the office, check on the project I'm working on, fire up my computer, my work system, check my tools, make sure they are functioning properly, and try to continue working on what I was working on the previous day before leaving the office. But before I digress, like I was saying, how unreliable technology can be. Technology is something that can make or break your day in this aspect of cybersecurity, cyber offense, really, because you might the previous night you might be working on your project, your Kali machine is working, Metasploit is doing great, your Bob suit is connected and everything, and then you get to the office the next day, we hope for continuing where you stopped, and your Kali crashes out of nowhere. And then you have to start all over again. And well, it's not like this every time. I mean, some days are really nice because you already have a plan from the reconnaissance stage to the reporting stage. Everything is going well, and it just feels like you're working on rainbows and everything is good. But no one ever talks about the days where you would almost break your system on the floor, on the table, because nothing works at that point. Nothing is just working, and no, and it makes you feel incompetent at some point when you are giving out this report to your supervisor. After this project now, what's going, guy? So and so happened. This so and so happened. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I should have run out of this project. But yeah, so like I said earlier, the daily life of a cyber offense engineer is really spontaneous. Really spontaneous. Anything can happen. You can be working on a project. You can, be in on the zone, and then the project management guy comes in and taps you, guy, come and start going to client site. You're like, why are you doing this to me? why are you doing this to me? I mean, I'm really, and then yeah, it's funny, but once you're in that situation, you would know that nah, this isn't funny. You have so many fights with your colleagues, so many arguments with your supervisors because you want to be where you are in your comfort zone. You don't want them to take you out of that zone. So yeah, that's how it is. Let me just say in a nutshell, in the daily life of an offensive security engineer, some days for a week, there's some time that in the entire week you won't have any issues, it's smooth. And then for the next 2 weeks, it's back to back dash blues, back to back, and you're like, why? Why is this chaos happening to me now? Am I not loved by God? But yeah, everybody's loved by God, actually. But yeah, that's that's basically it. That's basically it. Thank you very much, Dami.
Thank you so much, Kennedy, for sharing that. That was quite funny. And I think I'd like to also add on that because a lot of people think, being in the offensive security role, it's just you hacking into machines or networks and stuff like that. They don't know that a lot of other things actually go on in the background. There's a lot of paperwork involved as well. But thank you so much for sharing that. I think someone out there needed to hear that. So, Chininye, the same question. If we were to shadow you for a day, what can we expect to find you doing from morning to evening?
All right. I think I agree with what Candy said about my day being really spontaneous because in the morning, let's say I get to work, there's a project I'm working on and I'm trying to like create scripts using Terraform. And maybe the previous day, a developer should push a code to maybe the source repository and I check everything is going well. But the next day, I'm getting false alert. So I have to start going through everything to check, okay, what went wrong? What are the critical alerts I need to look into? And there are some days where you just hear of things you've never heard of before. Because there was a time I was working on a project where we were asked to use digital oceans, and to be honest, I've never heard of it before. Like, who uses digital ocean when we have big CSPs like Azure, GCP, and AWS? So who uses digital ocean? I was so confused, and it was a challenge because DataOcean does not have a lot of uh, support articles. Have a lot of articles have not been written on it, so it's more like you are the mechanic, you are the one fixing everything, you are the one writing everything. So it's sometimes it's a challenge, but at the moment, my daily routine involves deploying security configurations and tools like Bandit. Let's say I'm trying to automate the tool so that when someone pushes a code, or let's say when they trigger the pipeline to go to production, they're trying to push a code to go to production, this tool can easily catch those security vulnerability as soon as they come. So for me, it's more like trying to identify what tool needs to be plugged into the pipeline and making sure these tools are integrated properly.
Thank you so much, Nate. That sounds like a lot of work for you to do. It's basically like you wear many hats in the role that you perform, right? And that's a lot of tools you mentioned. We're going to come to tools really shortly, but let's take Esther. Esther, can you walk us through your daily life as a GRC specialist?
Yes, of course. I would be more than delighted to do that. So, hello everyone. It's Esther again. Currently, I double as a business development manager and a GRC specialist for a cybersecurity consulting firm. So now what we do is a lot. We offer a lot of services from, IT advisory to cybersecurity advisory to, CISO as a service, a lot actually. So my day, I wouldn't say it's the ideal day. Like today can, be quite different from what we'll be getting tomorrow. So but just a general overview of what my day, typical day would look like. First of all, we start with, a meeting every morning to like, brief everyone on what we are working on, our clients, and, other projects that we have at the background. So From there, after we've briefed each other, um, obviously now you have to check your emails because I work on the client side as well. So I receive a lot of emails on a day-to-day basis. So I have to check emails, reply to, emails, and then sometimes I have to quickly jump on a call with maybe one of our clients who needs to brief us on, or us to brief them actually on the project progress, and give a little bit of report on how everything is going. So but on right now, let's say we have a project that we are working on. Please can you enlighten
Esther, I think you're having a little bit of a connectivity issue. Okay, so while Esther is trying to get back to the session,
hi
oh, Esther,
Dami,
you're back.
can anyone hear me please?
Yes, we can. We lost you for a minute.
Oh, sorry about that. My network is a little bit shaky from this side. Sorry
We
about that. I
understand.
apologize.
Nigeria.
Okay, so where was I? Okay, on the JRC side now, that depends on the projects we are working on. Let's say we are implementing ISO 27001. It takes a whole lot of process where we have
Wow, this network no longer for us to do. Okay. Um, so while she's trying to get back, while she's having her network issues sorted out, Candy, I would like to just pick up from what you said earlier, right? You mentioned a whole lot of tools that. Oh, Esther, you're back. Sorry.
Yes, I am. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think someone tried to call me, so it keeps interrupting with the network. I'm so sorry about that.
It's fine. Do you want to finish up?
Yeah, let me just wrap it up. So it depends on what we're working on. But initially we start with like a startup meeting where we introduce ourselves, and then we get to know our clients and their needs. And then, if it's ISO 27001 or other compliance framework, we have to do like a gap analysis. And this honestly is not done in a day. Okay, it takes like sometimes it spans the week, or a full month actually. But just to give a brief overview, then we go ahead to do the gap analysis, where we kind of like try to see where they are and then map out how they can get to where they want to be, which is like meeting the compliance requirements. And then from there we implement the controls, and then at the end of the day help them to get certified, and then we close out the meeting. So it depends on what we're working on. Sometimes it can be a training project where we have to train maybe directors or board members and executives on cybersecurity, and to bring them up to par, like to educate them and to create awareness. So we just have to like develop the training materials, the training slides, and then sometimes these trainings can hold physically, or like we are doing now, virtually. So a day in my life is a little bit of everything now, because I have to also ensure that we deliver these projects and we deliver on time. So I do a little bit of project management by the side as well, and then also just a little bit of implementation as well. So yeah, that's just a typical day in my life. Thank you.
Well, that's a lot. I think you need more than 24 hours in your day, to be honest, because if you're doing so much in a day, that's
Oh, please. Uh,
so thank you so much, Esther,
I'm
for that.
excited to be here actually.
We're excited to have you as well. That was a very detailed breakdown of your day, and it was quite insightful. I'm pretty sure the audience really loved how you were able to go into details. And one thing I noticed was the fact that you actually work across teams. You're always, in the middle of everyone. What's one particular challenge that comes with that? You being there, you doing this, you doing that, all at the same time. What's that particular challenge that you face being in the middle of everyone?
Okay, sometimes, well, like I say, cybersecurity is, I can say, sorry, I don't want to sound a little bit of, how would I put it now? But yeah, cybersecurity is a male dominated field. So most times, while women are trying to actually, come up and rise to, the status, it's more of a male dominated field. So sometimes you're not taken so seriously when you give out, say you give out tasks and then you ask someone, oh, you need to do this, we need to get this going, and then they need to like, okay, hear from your superior or like your boss, to now begin to actually, if you need documents to review, to now begin to like, oh, request for the document and then hand them over to you. But that's by the side actually. Another thing that I think I've faced is kind of like getting burnt out, because it's a lot actually, from meeting up with clients to ensuring that we deliver these projects on time and we do it well to actually keep our clients going. So I think for me, it's more of like those two, the burnout that I have to face. And then sometimes I have to like, walk into the night to make sure that the next day doesn't come too packed for me. So I rarely have enough time for myself. And I think everybody around me thinks that I am an introvert, but I don't think so, because I actually do love to go out, but because of this whole, having to do this and do that, I don't get to do that quite a lot. So that's my kind of challenge, but it's still exciting, honestly. So I'm not complaining about it at all. Thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to talk real quick about how you've been able to overcome these challenges. I mean, if it's something that you feel is a challenge, there's some things you must have put in place to ensure that you're able to overcome them. Do you want to quickly share that with us before we circle back to Kende?
Oh, yeah, sure. So, I'm a morning person. I realized that my strengths lie in how I use my mornings. And now that starts from like maybe 4 a.m. So I'll make sure, because I work 9 to 5, right? So if I have other things that I'm working on, I mean, this field requires continuous learning. So I don't know everything. I'm still, trying to learn as much as I can, while also delivering, services at the other side. So I make sure that I use my mornings effectively. And now that involves planning my day, actually. I make sure that every hour of my day is planned down, that I have blocked out all the time that I need to do things. And then when I look at my calendar, I kind of like, okay, have reassurance that, well, I mean, it's going to be a lot, but then again, I can handle it. So, and then I also make sure that I do what I say I will do and when I say I will do it. Now, working remotely can be a little bit tricky, actually. So, because we have the opportunity to not be continuously supervised like that. So sometimes we can move and then do almost every other thing at the back end. So, but yeah, planning your day ahead of time can also help you to like manage time, because I think getting burnt out is a little bit of not managing your time effectively. So then when it comes to being able to get people to cooperate with me as a female person in cybersecurity, honestly, I just explained to them that I'm here to help them and that I need their support to actually perform this role. So I make sure to communicate that with them. I make sure to know that, let them know that we are on the same side. And then also now communicate with my boss and tell them, okay, if I need something and I'm not getting it from them, please you have to come in to help me get it. So that's basically it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing that. That was quite insightful and enlightening. So thank you so much. So let's circle back to you, Kende. Initially, you mentioned how you have to do a lot when it comes to your role as an offensive security engineer. You're, moving through clients, trying to meet deadlines and all of that. That will involve quite a number of tools, right? So you've probably got a whole dashboard going, right? So I know personally, you've been someone who is really active when it comes to learning and using tools. So if we pick into your screen, if we were to pick into your screen right now, what would we find open all the time? What's that one tool that you use always? Oh, Kende ran away. Okay, so
I
I think
think
we
he
lost
lost
Kende.
it somewhere.
Yeah, I think we
Maybe the
lost him.
network or something.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, we still come back and answer that question. So, but let's move on to Chineye, right? So, Chineye, what is that one tool would find you using almost every time if we were to look into your screen?
All right. For me, I would not say one tool, please, because on my screen there are always a lot of tabs open. I multitask. So you would find my VS Code running because I'm trying to create scripts to automate a process. You would find my AWS screen running because I'm trying to create users. Though I can do that manual. I can use script to do that. I can create a script that automatically creates those users. But if I'm trying to let's say spin up a server, I prefer to do it manually. But every day I think two tools you'll find running on my screen is VS Code running Terraform and my AWS IAM screen on.
Awesome, awesome. That's quite descriptive. I personally like, Terraform. It's quite helpful. I use it almost all the time. Kende, you're back. We thought you left us, but you didn't. So, um,
Oh,
the same
apologies
question.
for that.
Yeah,
I got kicked out of my network.
it's
Okay, what's the
okay.
question here? Tell me.
All right. The question is, if we were to look into your screen right now, what's that one tool would find you using all the time?
Oh yeah, you're opening. You're definitely seeing my VMware open because it's sacrosanct. It's like our own Bible, the offensive security team. Yeah, you either have your VMware or your Oracle VM open, or yeah, Oracle VM open. Yes, yes. I mean those are the two major things. Then with your Kali or your Parrot VM running on it. So yeah, it's not negotiable at all, at all, at all, at all.
Awesome. Honestly, I was expecting you to say something like burp sweet or, that was actually the response I was looking forward to. But awesome. I think VMware is quite sacrosanct, especially if,
Boxes runs on Kali.
yeah, it does,
Yeah.
but it's that one tool that you find most security professionals using on open all the time. But yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And Esther, your turn.
Okay. I don't think mine will come off as very technical, like Jess did. But like Chinaya said, I don't think it's just one tool. It's like multiple tools. But then because I have to work on the client side and on the project management side, so one thing that I think I'll always have open is my email first of all, because like I need to keep our clients updated on the progress of the project, and then my project management tool, which is ClickUp, and my CRM as well, Zoho. So but on the technical side, obviously we'll have like my risk register, which is always on an Excel sheets, just multiple Excel sheets. So yeah, that's that for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. That was quite insightful. All right, so I'm trying to make sure we beat up with time. Please, everyone, if you have questions, I don't want to be the only one asking the questions, please. Okay, so if you have questions, make sure you drop them in the chat or in the comment. I would, of course, display them on screen. And if you want a particular speaker to respond to your question, you can also tag that. So I'll make sure that they respond to your questions. So please drop your questions and we'll take them shortly. All right. Now, there's something I really want us to talk about. And um, I think it's just that particular myth people have when it comes to certain roles. So, take for instance, GRC, it gets a bad reputation for being just paperwork. But I want you to do something. I want you to bust that myth right now on the call, Esther, right? I want you to bust that myth for the audience listening right now. What does doing real GRC work look like for you? Is it true? Is it just paperwork? Is it a boring role? Is it, something people should not want to get into if they're looking for an exciting role? So can you help us with that?
Yeah, of course, I would, like to do that. So, well, while GRC is not very technical, I want to disagree with, the myth that we don't have to be technical to be GRC professionals, because let's take, for instance, you're performing an audit or a risk assessment, right? How do you know what to check for if you're not technical enough? All right. So you need to know what you're doing, or you need to know your systems to actually be able to audit and know, okay, no, I think something is wrong here and this is actually running right. So let's say you have like a SOC tool, and then you're trying to check logs. Let's just say that, for example. And if you don't know what a log should look like and how to interpret logs, I don't think you'd be able to give a clear and an accurate report on that. So, for you to actually perform audits and okay, not even a SOC. So let's just say a SIM tool for an instance. So for you to perform audits on that, you have to be technical and know how, these tools should work on a daily basis or in the right forms. So I'd say, and then also for risk assessments as well, you have to be technical to know that, okay, these are vulnerabilities, these are threats and how they affect the system and your clients, to now be able to interpret that and communicate that to them as well. So I think you have to, there's no role in cybersecurity that does not require technical expertise. Now, while it's not very technical, like I would say, I think you'll find people with technical background do really well in GRC, because now they know what the other side look like. Now they just need a little bit of communication skill to now be able to function well in their role as GRC professional. So no, we do, like me myself, I did transition from DevSecOps, and I think that helps me a lot, because recently I had to come up with a web application security policy. Now, if I don't know, the steps in secure development, I wouldn't know how to actually put this policy together in a way that it works the best for the organization. So no, we do require technical skills, and we are technically inclined as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I hope the audience can hear it and understand the fact that GRC role is also as technical as other areas in cybersecurity. We all work hand in hand together. There's no role that is more technical or more better than the other. So thank you, Esther, for that. Kende, the same question, right? Because I think your role too deserves an explanation. There's this myth that cybersecurity professionals, especially those in offensive security, all they do is wear a hoodie and, probably they're always in a dark room and trying to hack into networks and things like that. Is that really true? Ever since you got into the field, is that all you've been doing, or is there more to it? Can you like bust the myth for people right here?
Okay. Firstly, I would like to say that offensive security engineers are one of the most normal people you would see and you would know. I mean, if Dami didn't read out my bio, I don't think I would have passed as the typical offensive security engineer. The one that you guys have in your head about how we should all look and how we should all talk, how we should all be nerdy. I have offensive security guys that party a lot, but when they're on their system, they are gods. But they have really good social lives, unlike what the movies portray that they don't go out, they are fat, they are always in their basement. Nah, that isn't it. That isn't it. Offensive security guys are normal professionals. We go about our day as normal humans. I wouldn't say that. I mean, there are some people that are actually introverted. That is actually true, but it's not. It doesn't speak for everyone. I mean, I barely go out, but I mean, I have my own fair share of social gatherings that I do. I don't always. I have my hoodie here actually, but I don't remember wearing it. I don't remember wearing it. I can't remember when I wore it. I think the last time I wore it was when it was raining. When I was going out to buy something in the rain. Not because I wanted to sit down to act. No, it's no, 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 not that. Not that's a myth that actually needs to be busted. And those movies where you are I'm in 5 seconds and you're like, when you get into the field, you be like, how did that guy do it? 5 seconds. Is it that good, or does it think we are stupid? You have to start asking yourself those kind of questions. You see those green screen like the Matrix, just pouring down, and then you're like, this thing is what they used to pack everybody's to that time. But still, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we are normal guys. We are normal guys, and like Esther said, um, you need to be really technical, and you need to always keep learning. There is no one is an island of knowledge when it comes to offense security. You might be so good, so good, but the moment you stop learning, that's the moment you get left behind in this field. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kennedy. I think that needed to be said because that's a really big myth when it comes to, offensive security specialist. So thank you so much for shedding light on that. It's not, 5 seconds hacking and then you're in. Sometimes you have to wait for your nmap scan for like 2 hours or so. So thank you so much for letting people know that, it's not really like that when it comes to ethical hacking in the real world. All right, so Chinenye, your role is quite unique. It's quite niched. I would like you to share some of the challenges that you faced in cloud security that nobody probably warned you about. You don't really find a lot of women going into that space, so I'm sure you've faced quite a lot of challenges. So if you like, you could share some with us. We'd love to know.
All right. So, one of the challenges I faced, I would say, is adapting. Because when I started my career as a cloud security engineer, I did most of the tasks manually. Let's say I wanted to spin up a server, I wanted to create a subnet, a security group. I would just easily log into the admin console and do this. But later on, I saw that most of these repetitive tasks could be automated using scripts and codes. So, and as of then, I had no idea of programming language. So it was a real challenge because I before then I thought learning programming languages was fully for developers. Like, why am I learning programming languages as a cloud security or DevOps engineer? But later on, like I said earlier, these repetitive tasks, it becomes really overwhelming for you to do them manually, because that is not the only task you have at hand. You have like a lot going on. So learning to automate this task kind of like give you the upper hand, because you get to spend more time doing other tasks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, that was quite explanatory, having to learn how to use some tools and all that. So that was quite insightful. Thank you so much, Chineye. Okay, we have some questions in the chat. We'll take them real short. So if you have questions, kindly put them in the chat. We'll be going over them very soon. All right, now. So we've seen the surface, right? Now we want to go a little deeper, because the purpose of bringing you guys on here is for you to spill the beans, to tell us the truth, right? This is the part where we want to stop being polite and actually start being real. Because let's face it, cybersecurity is not always glamorous, and nobody tells you that upfront. So we want you to be that person today to tell the audience what it actually feels like to be in that role. So I'm going to throw out a few questions, and anyone can jump in. Let's make this messy, fun, and as honest as possible, right? Are you ready? Now, so imposter syndrome is not something people like talking about, right? Because I'm pretty sure most of us have dealt with it. I personally, I have. So I want you to talk to us. Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? Because let's be honest, even on days when you know your stuff, even when you know that you have what it takes, there's that little voice inside of you that says you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes to be in that room, in that space, in that field, right? So there are days when, you know, I could be like, I don't think I should be here doing this. I feel like a fraud or a scammer, right? So have you ever dealt with something like that? And if so, how were you able to, you know, quiet or that shush that voice? Like, no, I know who I am. So anyone wants to take that? Kinde, do you?
Okay, so I've dealt with it most of my professional life, not even in the tech space. So before I came into tech, I was into banking. I was in the banking sector, and yeah, there are things you'd see and you would hear that would make you question your own competence. Yeah, and before coming into cybersecurity, when I entered cybersecurity fully, I I was on a two close to 3 years break of not having a job because I wanted to get immersed in the field, and during that period, even with getting certifications and all, when you go on LinkedIn, it's a very devilish place to be. When you go there, you'd see people's accomplishment and all. The first time I started cybersecurity, I entered LinkedIn. I was trying to optimize my LinkedIn profile and all, and I saw top men with like 7 titles in front of their names. I was like, hey, am I sure I want to be here? What am I doing here? But then, but then, I kept going. I kept pushing. 'Cause these ones already have 11 years of experience, 20 something years of experience, and I'm like, so why am I trying to compete? Why am I trying to compare myself with this man? No, I should follow my own path, and then I keep going, and then you get these voices that keep telling you that, can you see what your guy is doing? Have you been to this guy's place? Can you see the exploits they are doing? And do you think you can match up to them? You're just frauding your way. And at some point, I had to talk myself. I said, I'm frauding my way, and it's going well for me. Let me keep frauding my way into it. Let me just keep frauding my way into it. Because the moment you start succumbing to the voice in your head, you start becoming less of yourself. That is the truth. You automatically start becoming less of yourself. You want to give zero effort. You want to just let things be as you just want to start winging things. So in frauding, I put in more effort to fraud. How do I do that? I get more books to read. I study to become better. I ask questions a lot. When I see somebody, my colleagues especially, doing things that I have not done before, that I have not seen before, I call them, guy, sister, please, oh yeah, explain this thing to me. How did you get it? Or whenever I'm reviewing reports and I'm seeing the exploit, I'm like, how, why? I first get mind blown, I first get overwhelmed. Then when I get back, I call them. So because imposter syndrome is not somewhere you should want to dwell in. You want to have it, yeah, understand that you are not where you want to be, and then push forward to be where you want to be. Because if you dwell on it, you remain stagnant there. You just remain stagnant. You just keep feeling like you fraud forever. Feel like you fraud for. I saw someone's a CISO posting on LinkedIn. Was it a CISO? No, a top person in cybersecurity, talking about how he is still struggling with imposter syndrome sometimes. I was like, if someone with this years of experience is having this issue, what what excuse do I have to not still push on? I mean, I'm certain that he had that issue from beginning of his career up to where he is, and he's still having it, but he's still going to push on. So, what excuse do I have to not want to push on? So, that is how you deal with imposter syndrome. You realize that yes, okay, it feels like I'm frauding my way into these things. It feels like I'm winging it, but let me be the best winger ever.
I love that. Be the
So yeah,
best
thank you
swinger
so
ever.
much. That's all from me.
Thank you so much. That was quite inspirational. I'm not going to lie, because it's something that I personally have dealt with. Esther, is it something you also dealt with? Is it something you've experienced in your career?
Um, yes, of course. I think it's something that everybody deals with. Like he said, it's something that we all get to deal with, even while continuously learning and progressing in our career. We still sometimes have that doubt in us. But for me, I think it comes from the ever evolving digital space, right? Now we hear the talks about AI, and honestly, I haven't even had time to like delve into that so much, because I still have a lot of frameworks that I need to understand so that I'll be able to like explain it to my clients when they reach out to us. You get, and now we have AI, and there's AI compliance, there's AI governance. Like, what is going on? You get, but I still tell myself, I mean, I'm a work in progress. So I just have to like keep learning, make sure that no day will pass without me learning something new. So I make sure that I'm not the same today like I was yesterday. And then I also get to remind myself that, see, I mean, you're just a few years into this thing, give it time. With time, you will learn everything, even though not everything, but at least you be more confident to like put yourself out there and then to show the world what you've made of. So yeah, it's something that we all deal with, but with a little bit of practice here and there, we'll probably overcome it as time goes on. Yeah.
Thank you. Practice makes perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that, Esther. And finally, Chineye, do you want to say something on imposter syndrome before we ask our final question and we sign off?
All right. For me, I want to give an advice, something that has worked for me. So, like Kende and Esther said, it is not something you run away from. It will come. So you just have to be prepared for those days. And one thing I do is I have a brag list. Esther can confirm to that. CS always emphasize on that point. Have a brag list. So no matter how big, no matter how small the accomplishment is, write it down. Write what made it so special, so that when the days you feel imposter syndrome comes, you can just easily refer back to it, read about it, and ask yourself, wow, so Chineye, there was a time you did this, there was a time you did this, wow. So if you could do it then, you can buckle up your belt, you can ginger yourself to keep going.
Thank you. That was quite succinct and impactful. Thank you, Chineye, for that. So you've heard it from the professionals. Imposter syndrome is something that you probably have to deal with. It's a lifelong thing. But there are, of course, ways for you to, overcome them. You just have to remind yourself that you deserve to be there. You deserve to be in that space. You deserve to be in that field. So thank you so much. And now, the final question I'll be throwing out to you before we take questions from our audience is, what's that one practical advice you'd want to give anyone who's looking at getting into the particular role you're in right now? Chinaya, you want to go first?
Sure. So for me, I would say prioritize working on projects over set anytime, anywhere. Because I believe when you work on projects, it is what gives you the experience you need to work on a job. So a person who only studies without practicing is like a student who goes to the university to study mechanical engineering but never gets to work on a car. So for the student to gain experience, he needs to work on cars and not just study. So I would advise you work on projects. When you learn how to use, let's say you just learned how to use uh let's say Kubernetes, you just learned how to use Docker, practice, create project on it, create project that centers on what companies would face. So and you try to create a problem and a solution to it.
Awesome. Thank you. That was quite insightful. Kende,
Yeah, I totally agree with what Chinene just said. You want to you want to build up experience. You want to build up experience. You want to build up work experience. So there's what we call job experience and there's what we call work experience. Job experience is the one you get on the job itself. Say I worked at so place for 4 years. That is your job experience. Now, what is your work experience? What did you do? So before I got into cybersecurity, before I started working full time, I made sure I got a work experience and a job experience. Work experience, I picked up projects. There were some students that needed me to help them with some practical projects. So I took that. I started taking those kind of practical projects and used it for my work experience. And then there was this virtual internship that I could take online before going into Ethnos, where Dami and I came from. I used it to shape my job experience. So that really helped me in getting a job. Because if I just sat idle and start stacking up certifications, like I would, nobody would. They want to see that, okay, you have gotten these certifications, good and fine, but have you applied it in real world sense before? And that's why most companies would want to take this little 6 weeks internships, 8 week internships before they actually finally onboard you. But still, getting that push from your own end before the internship even comes about, that gives you an edge over other applicants. They see CV, this guy's so and so thing. He has done this project. Okay, they already know that. Okay, this person is probably suitable for this internship. For this person. The internship is just going to be formality. But unlike you that have not seen all you have on your, I'm not saying certifications are wrong. They are really good. They're actually really good to help you build competence. Like really, really good. But I want you to prioritize it. Once you are getting certification, make sure you get try to get work experience. That is, picking up projects and try to get job experience. You might say that, but I don't have a job now. There's no job. I mean, there are virtual internships. You can go to theforage.com. You are going to get virtual internships on cybersecurity there. About 8 companies are offering virtual internships. If you check my CV, that's what I packed there. Before I went to cyber, before coming to cyber, that was on my CV. The virtual internships. So I just proved to them that I am taking this serious and I'm so and so with so and so company. I'm competent enough, to enter as an entry level what's called staff at least. So that's my advice to them. Certifications, try to get work experience, work on projects, and then job experience. Thank you very much.
thank you so much, Kende. And Chinenye, you've spoken about creating projects and building experience. Esther, is there anything you want to add to that?
Just a little bit, because my amazing colleagues here have like honestly said it all. I mean, you need to show people that you can actually do what you say you can do, and the only way to do that is obviously through um, projects, hands-on projects. So, but for GRC, it's a little bit tricky in the sense that while we work on projects, there's still like a whole lot to learn, like frameworks and standards. So I would say for a GRC professional, right? If you know that you want to work on the client side, please just focus on that, right? You know, starting out, you want to do a little bit of everything. For me, my advice would be, you know, learn the basics, start with the basics, but then choose the field that you want to play. You can be everywhere. GRC is not something that you can, sorry, cybersecurity is not something that you can master all at once, right? You have to just choose where you think that your skills align best, and then, you know, put your all towards that. So for GRC professionals, just get the basic background knowledge. Maybe you can get Security Plus or ISC2 certified in cybersecurity, or Google cybersecurity certification course. Any, you know, of this background courses that you can start with, and then start learning your frameworks. That is what will show recruiters or employers that you actually know your stuff, and then take it one step at a time. Like, it's a lot, so just make sure that, or if it is ISO 27001 you want to focus on, make sure that you learn everything you need to learn. And then maybe work on side projects like creating a checklist or an implementation plan, something that shows that, okay, you understood what, you know, the requirements of the standards or framework, and that you can apply it if need be. So just start small, take it you know, easy, and gradually you'll get to where you need to be. Thank you.
I love that. Start small. You don't have to jump the gun. Take it easy. You're always going to get there as long as you don't rush. Thank you so much, Esther, for that. And thank you all to our speakers for keeping it real. I think someone actually out there needed to hear that, whether they're just starting out or they're already in the game. We don't talk about these things enough, and it's time we do. All right, now it's your turn. The audience, what's on your mind? Kindly drop your questions in the Q&A box. Let's see, I think we have just a question. I'll show that up real quick. Okay, so we have a question from Mayor. As an ethical hacker, is it necessary to learn the use of all the tools like Burp Suite, Wireshark, Metasploits, or you just need to know the technicality of a few and you are good? I think we know who this question is directed to. So I don't need to mention.
Okay, Mayor. So it is actually necessary for you to have good and solid knowledge on all these tools because you will use them. So they might not be your go-to tool at every point, but the moment they are called on to be used, you don't want to be running to YouTube. You know, see, sometimes I run to YouTube when I feel like there's something a bit tricky about what's going on. And there's sometimes that you get brain freeze and you just don't know what's going on anymore. So you need, but yeah, you need to have very good knowledge on Bobsuit, Wireshark, Metasploit, your Kali, the tools in your Kali that are because they are out there. They are not just there for decoration. They are there for you to practice with and to understand. I mean, even I don't know all the tools in Kali. I don't use everything, but still, it's still good for you to have a very good knowledge, very good technical knowledge of all these tools because they are going to be your go-to at every point in time.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor. I hope that answers your question. Um, if you have other questions that you want to probably ask any of the speakers, we will be sharing their LinkedIn page URL in the chat box shortly, so you can always reach out to them personally. And if you have questions for either Esther and I, you can also reach out to us. We are more than happy to welcome your questions. So I think that sums it up. Thank you all so much for being a part of this event. If you're just starting out in cybersecurity, please breathe. You don't have to know everything today. Make sure you try different things, ask questions, mess up, learn, repeat. That's the only way you grow. And remember that every cybersecurity path is valid. You don't chase the one that just sounds cool, right? Like, hey, I want to be an ethical hacker or something like that because it sounds cool. Follow what genuinely aligns with your interests, something that aligns with your strengths, and something that is what you want, right? Because that's where the magic is. So before we close, we want to give a massive shout out to our incredible guest speakers, Kehinde, Chinenye, and yes, even Esther in a GRC speaker mode, for showing up with honesty and some serious wisdom today. Thank you for sharing what the job really looks like, for keeping it real, and for inspiring every single person watching this. You didn't have to, but you did, and because of that, we are beyond grateful. To our audience, thank you for being here. We love that you were able to show up either in the chat or you just tuned in quietly. We see you. We appreciate you for being part of this community that we are building. And Esther, do you want to say something to wrap up before we close out?
Honestly, Dami, you've said it all, but I'd like to say a big thank you to you as well. You were an amazing host, and I think we wouldn't have been able to do this without you. So thank you for, guiding us through the webinar and for coordinating everything. And yeah, to our amazing speakers, thank you, and thank you once again. This wouldn't have been possible without you, and we are grateful that you honored our invitation. And to our audience, thank you so much too for coming in and listening to us and staying to this point. We really appreciate your time. I mean, you could have been doing a whole lot of other things on a Saturday morning, but you chose to be here with us. So we are grateful to have you. And please do well to follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on LinkedIn as well. Reach out if you have a question, and we'll be more than glad to answer your questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have more questions coming in the chat. Michaela, she's asking, cloud security is not a female dominated field. Why did you choose cloud security? I think she was directing that question to Chinenye. However, she may not be able to take it now because we kind of overshot our time. But if you'd like, would let her reach out to you. And we'll also be dropping a LinkedIn page so you could also have a one-on-one conversation with Chinenye. So thank you so much, Michaela, for that. And of course, you asked, can we hear this cyber story? I think they shared some of the cyber stories, but okay, maybe we could have another session where we could bring them back and we could, let them go into details on their cyber story. All right. So thank you so much for the questions and the contribution. Um, until next time. So stay curious, still learning, and of course, stay secured. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.